All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host for today, Josh Deming, and we're here once again for the match preview stream. I want to know how you guys are feeling today. Gonna turn the lo-fi music down a little bit. Excuse me if you hear any noises. The house is being worked on, so I was trying to keep the background music up a little bit, so hopefully that's not too distracting. But Canada, in around 2 hours, will take on Peru in their second Copa America match. They lost their first one against Argentina 2-0. And they need at least a point to not get eliminated. And if you guys remember the 2022 World Cup, match 3 against Morocco meant nothing, and that just took a lot of the fun out of it. This time around, though, I'm not only hoping that match number 3 will mean something, but that we can pick up the points required to move on to the quarterfinals. Because I don't know. I believe that this team is good enough to do so. I think that we could go have a favorable quarterfinal matchup, and all of a sudden this could be the dark horse of the tournament. But all that doesn't matter unless we take care of business tonight against Peru. And if you guys watched the Peru against Chile match, you'll know that it was a dogfight. It was not a very pretty match of football to keep an eye on. And I mean, it might have been a little lost in translation, but if you heard the Peruvian manager, he's saying basically his players are going to be up for a fight and they're not afraid to really make Canada suffer. So as we did on our last preview, which was a lot of fun, getting excited for the big match, get your guys' comments in, your thoughts in. I'm gonna go through the comments right now, but I'm just going to start with a question for myself. What is your score prediction? I went on record saying that I think my score prediction, I'm going for a 1-0 Canada victory. I think it will be difficult. I think it will be cagey. I think Peru will make it just unbearable at times, but I do think Canada is going to find a way. I think they're going to break their goal drought. I mean, taking on Netherlands, France, Argentina, no goals scored, a ton of chances missed. I think now is the time we come good. Most of the other predictions I saw today were actually pro-Canada. There's a lot of 2-0, 2-1, 3-2 kind of victories for Canada. I think it'll be cagey. I think it'll be 1-0. I believe Canada will have more of the ball. I'm really curious to see what Canada will look like with maybe towards 60% of the ball with this Peruvian team. The Peruvian side only had about 35% of the ball against Chile, which I was a little surprised about. Let's get in the comment section, see what you guys are saying. We put the vote up there to see who you guys would think is winning. Canada definitely won that, although Peru got a few votes in there as well. Luke Carey saying we will win. I'm hoping so. I know lots of Canadian men's national team who are jaded and don't think that they'll pull it through. Probably the same folks who voted for Peru. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I don't want to take this Peru side for granted at all. This is a tough team. If you, like I said, even if you watch that Peru versus Chile match, you'll know that this is going to be a very difficult team to break down. They're going to make it ugly, and they're going to make it very difficult on this Canadian side, who are goal shy right now. They're used to this tournament. They've played in this tournament. They've done well in this tournament in recent years. This is not a cakewalk by any stretch. I'm just hoping and thinking that this Canadian team can pull it off and they can execute a game plan. And I'm seeing a lot of you guys saying it's going to be like a 1-0 kind of scoreline, and that's just the nature of the business. I believe it's going to be that. I'd be surprised if it was something else. Maybe 2-0 if one of the team who's ever trailing goes and throws a bunch of players forward towards the end. But that's just the kind of game I'm predicting, and the Peru coach kind of really maybe believe that as well. If you guys are just joining us, though, drop a like, say hello, and let me know what you guys think the scoreline will be today. I feel we'll get a PK and David comes clutch. It would be a romantic story, I think, if we picked up a penalty, and then I'm hoping Davies scoops it up and then hands it to David to go and put it in the back of the net. Jesse Marsh made it clear that Jonathan David is the PK taker. That is the right decision. He's fantastic from the spot. And we'll have to see. They should win. Let me know, guys. Get your score predictions in. Are you nervous for the game? I'm really, really hoping, again, it sucked knowing that in the World Cup, match 3 didn't matter. All that buildup, all that excitement, that incredible World Cup qualifying campaign, just for the third match of 3 not to matter. I don't want to see that here. I think we're in a group where we can do something special. But I'm really curious to see how this team is going to look against a team that is little bit more even on paper. The Peru side, like I said, is not one to take for granted, but they are not a France. They are not a Netherlands. They're not an Argentina. This is a winnable match. I think Canada's the favorites with the bookies right now. So we'll have to see. Canada should get the win, but it's going to be close. I agree. If Canada doesn't score, I'd be worried. I would too. But again, saying that, I just think it's going to be difficult. I really do. I think it's going to be very difficult to break down this Peru side. I'm expecting them to do so. And like I said, with more of the ball, I'm hoping that the players can step up and create chances. I mean, if Peru drops in a low block and that's what Canada has to do, they got to be careful about putting bodies forward to not get caught on the counter. But I think I'm just really curious to watch and see how Davies and Miller, that partnership blossoms a little bit. Because I was one of apparently the few that really liked Liam Miller's game. I heard a lot of split decision on that. A lot of you guys liked how Liam and Alfonso's kind of chemistry grew and the chances they created in that match against Argentina. But at the same time, a lot of you guys didn't like, how Liam lost the ball. But I mean, if you're not willing to try and run at defenders and try to create something for yourself, I mean, he's a bit of a difference maker with that way, and he creates space for Davies. And I think against a team like a Peru, more of these chances can come. Peru is not Central American. They're technical, but have no big names. Yeah. But they're cagey too, and it'll be difficult. Got a 1-0 scoreline, makes the most sense, but I'm going 2-1 with a David and Buchanan goal. It's another big question mark for Jesse Marsh is how do you get Tajon Buchanan pumping? He was very quiet, I thought, in all three friendlies. Like I said, a lot of the play for Canada went through the left. Alfonso Davies, naturally, that's where it's going to be, but we need to find a way to get Buchanan more into these matches, especially against a Peru and a Chile where he can really thrive. He's too good of a player to be having the games that he's been having, and it's not like he made big mistakes, and it's just he just wasn't overly involved. He put in a lot of work off the ball. So did Kyle Larin. I think Kyle Larin, like I've always said this, I don't think Kyle Larin is tailor-made for Jesse Marsh's system, but I think he's working his butt off right now and showing Jesse why he deserves to be there. And again, a lot of that comes off the ball. David and Larin have been a little, like I said, a little goal shy and missed a couple chances that they're going to want back, but I'm warming up to the idea that Kyle Larin and Jonathan David will be our duo going forward. And I mean, it's not a shocker. I just didn't know how well he would have fit, but I think I'm seeing something from Kyle Larin where you can't really question his work ethic and what Jesse's asking him to do. He's doing everything to I think really stay in this starting 11. I'll pull up the starting 11. I'm assuming it'll be up somewhere. I don't expect any changes. I'm not sure if any of you guys do or not. But I'm expecting, yeah, exactly. So I'll share my screen right now to get the predicted starting 11 up. It is basically that. Let me know in the comments if you guys would make any changes and if you think there'll be any changes, but I don't. I think it's going to be the 4-2-2 again. Crepeau, Johnson, Bombito, Cornelius, Davies as your back forward. You got Buchanan, Kone, Eustachio, Liam Miller in the midfield, and David and Larin up front. I had Joshua Cloak on for the preview, and I kind of tried to push him on it because he's with the camp right now, and I just, like you see in major tournaments, and Germany just got a little bit of stick for this, is that they didn't make changes throughout the 3 group stage games. And it's not that I think that anyone played bad and deserves to be yanked from the starting 11. It's just in a tournament that the games come so quick, it's almost expected that you see some rotation, at least in one of the 3 matches, and not a whole sale of changes, but a couple players coming in and out. And Joshua Cloak was very clear that he did not think that there's going to be any changes. From what I'm hearing, I tend to agree with him. So I'm assuming we're going to see the same starting 11. And the argument for that is Jesse Marsh has his guys. They're very fit. He's made sure of it. The training sessions have been intense, and he's going to go with the guys he really trusts right now. But I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Would you make any changes for this match if you were Jesse Marsh? I know Schaffelberg's name, obviously the performance he put in, it was impressive. I mean, Schaffelberg came off the bench and he's electric, but I think that's what he's good at. And I think I'd almost rather him come off the bench and for the better or for worse, he is our super sub. He's coming off the bench and he makes an impact. He's electric. He's exciting. He can take on players. He can cross. He can shoot. He's someone that you want to come on later in games against tired legs. And unfortunately for Schaff, whether he wants to start, which obviously probably does, I think that's just kind of the scenario he is in right now. But I do think he's a player that could push if Jesse Marsh was looking to make a couple changes. I think Richie Laryea is naturally one. I mean, you can argue maybe like a Russell Rowe up front, but I really doubt it. I really don't think there's going to be any changes, although I don't know how that's going to work out for us long term with these games, but we'll see. We'll get in some more comments. We got some predictions coming in. If you're joining us in the chat, guys, drop a like on the stream, drop a sub if you're new, and let me know your guys' score prediction and any thoughts you guys have on the game, which will kick off in a little under 2 hours. Chile is tactically superior and have bigger names, even they're older. I think Chile is a better team than Peru, but I mean, both didn't impress me during that dogfighting against each other. Robert says that we're either going to win or we're going to win going away like 4-0, or we're going to lose 1-0 by giving up a goal on the counter, because either way, it's going to be dominant possession. That's what, like I said, that's the biggest thing I'm wondering about is, I mean, you saw our possession numbers were pretty solid in the 2 friendlies and against Argentina. And now we get to see an opposition like Peru, where they just showed that they're comfortable not having the ball against the likes of the team with a little bit more quality like Chile. So I'm expecting us to have more of the ball. It's just, what can we do with it? Can we create? We did create chances against some of the big dogs in the world, and we just couldn't put the ball away. So the chances we can create against Peru, how are they going to come? Are we going to capitalize? And if we turn the ball over and if we don't capitalize, what's it going to look like coming back the other way when Peru comes at us in transition? And I think if Canada can be clinical, I think they can create chances and carve out chances for themselves that we can get a goal or two. I said 1-0, but like you said, Robert, I don't disagree with your comment. I don't think we're going to win 1-0. Honestly, I think it could be like a 2-0 game, but maybe a comfortable 2-0 game. But I could also see a dogfight 1-0 for either team, really. Do Canadians really believe they're that much better than Peru? I'm Canadian. I covered the team. I'm not trying to be biased, and I'm trying to be very realistic about it. It would not shock me at all if Canada got grouped. And if you go back and watch my predictions, I had Canada finishing 3rd, but I think I said that we would go 0 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. So that was before Jesse Marsh came in, and honestly, during a run of form where they just simply were uninspiring and didn't impress me. I feel more confident now. I think on paper, Canada has a better team than Peru, and I'd expect even Peru fans to admit that. However, it's not about being played on paper. I think this Peru team is well coached. I think that they can be stubborn. I think that they can defend. I think that they're going to make it very difficult against this Canadian side. Anytime that we maybe have momentum, you're going to see them chop up the game, draw fouls, be dirt. I mean, you heard it from the coach. They're gonna be fighting at us, and it's not straightforward. On top of it, they have experience. This is their tournament. This is Copa America, and they have experience doing well in this tournament. I just think that, for Canadian fans, especially newer fans, they see a team on paper that's more talented, and they should expect to win, and that's fine. But from the Peru side of things, you're used to this tournament. This is your tournament. This is Canada's first time ever competing in Copa America. It's almost a little disrespectful a little bit to say, that we're going to walk all over you, and I don't think that's the case. And I don't think any Canadian should think we're going to walk over this Peru side. I'm expecting 1-0. It could be 1-0 Peru. I'm hoping and thinking that if Canada can execute the game properly, it will be 1-0 Canada. But Peru is not weak. And like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if, we don't make it out of this group. But I think that this team has enough talent to do so if they can get the game on properly. 2-0. 2-0. Vincent says, I hope to see some rotation in their attack, but I'm tired of Larin and David working hard, nothing else. Like I mentioned, I just talked about this. I expected rotation, just for any team in a tournament like this. Euros, Copa America, World Cup. You see rotations because these games come so fast, and it is hot. It is very, very hot in Kansas right now. It was hot in Atlanta. But from what I was told, from guys who are with the camp right now, this Canadian team is very in shape. They're very fit. They have incredible training sessions. That's going to keep them sharp. I'm hoping that they don't burn out, and that's where my question of rotation comes in. And if Jesse Marsh doesn't feel comfortable making the odd substitution here and there, then that's a risk that he's going to have to do. I mean, suspensions and maybe injuries could force his hand, but it doesn't sound like he's that interested from the people I've talked to about making changes leading into this match, which makes me believe that the starting 11 right here, the projected one, is what we're going to see. And for Larin, like I said, I've been very hard on Larin. But I do think that, he's been a workhorse, and you don't always see it because he's not scoring goals in the last 3 matches. And, he kind of drifts in and out of games, but the work he's doing off the ball, I think really impresses Jesse Marsch, and is the reason that I think he's going to stick with this team going forward as a starter. I'd be open to seeing, just for rotation purposes, like a Jason Russell-Rowe, but I doubt it. Better from where? The left back spot? No, I mean, if you compare player to player, the Canadian team is better. It just is. We have players playing at the higher level. Larin's in La Liga, David's in Ligue 1, one of the best goal scorers in that league. We got Eustachio and playing the Champions League with Porto. We got some English championship level players. We got one of the best left backs in the world. We have Buchanan to Inter Milan. This, on paper, Canada's better than Peru, and I don't think that's an argument. It doesn't mean that they're going to execute it and are going to win today at all. Game isn't played on paper. Yep. It's not played on paper, and that's why I said it wouldn't surprise me if Canada get grouped. Doesn't seem like it so far. We looked better against France, Argentina than we did in the World Cup. Yeah, we had a really good match against Belgium in the World Cup, and then it just kind of fell off from there. I would definitely put Larea in for Johnston. Would be maybe one of my substitutions. Again, not anything that Johnston did wrong. It's just, again, I don't know. I just, like I said, for rotation purposes, I just think it's important. I feel like Marsch has to rotate, especially in the heat. Our 11 won't last. I feel you, and I agree. And I'm just saying, that from the people I've talked to, it doesn't seem. I said, don't be surprised if this is the starting 11 that we see. I would make some substitutions. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't do wholesale changes. I would just do a couple. Larea, Schaffelberg, Jason Russell-Rowe are players that come to mind. Maybe a Kamal Miller. Although I don't really want to break up the back two, like the 2 center backs or the 2 central midfielders. I think Canada blows it up 1-1 at halftime, concedes a penalty, 3-1 final with David scoring early. Larin mid-second half, Schaffelberg nailing it home late. Very specific from Matt. I like it. The Schaffelberg late substitution heroics once again. They deserve a chance against a team they can actually beat. Yeah, this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be interesting. I mean, they drew against France in a friendly, so take of that what you will. There were some good things out of it. We got really, really poor second half against the Netherlands, which, again, take what you wanted of it. The Argentina game was a wild one. It could have been 5-2. We definitely could have scored a couple. We could have conceded quite a bit as well. 2-0 scoreline, I don't think really shows what actually happened in the match. But now these next 2 matches are do or die situations because we lost this first game. I mean, if we lose this game, we're eliminated. And that would suck. That'd be so disappointing going into the final match, because that's what happened to us in the World Cup. And it takes a lot out of it. This is an incredible tournament, one of the best tournaments that there is, and we're lucky to be being able to participate in it. And now it's time to make it count. Schaff is a great super sub as of now. Kamal Miller could be in for Cornelius. Russell-Rowe in for Larin. Yep, those are all substitutions I think make sense. Only chance of a change would be Richie in for Miller and Fonzie moving to left mid. That could be an interesting one too. I just don't know if Jesse's gonna push Davies up the pitch like that. And I think, again, from what I've been hearing, I think that Jesse Marsch really likes what Davies and Miller bring to this game. That's why, I had Liam's back a little bit with his performance. There's a big split decision. Some people agreed with me that, Miller and Davies should get the chance going forward together. They did create some problems in that match against Argentina. But there's a lot of fans that wanted to see Miller replaced, especially after you saw Schaffelberg come on late and impress. They just that was naturally Schaffelberg should probably start. But I just think Jesse likes the chemistry that's building right now between these two. Osorio for Kone would be a disaster. That's one that I can't. Kone and Eustachio, Bombito and Cornelius, I would say both, in those the 2 central center backs and the 2 central midfielders pretty much have to stay. You could argue that maybe you could swap in Kamal Miller. I still wouldn't do it. I would keep that core together. And I said this. Kone had a struggle. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Kone had a huge struggle against Argentina. He did not have near the performance he put in against France. I think the occasion got to him a little bit. But the issue is, I mean, I don't personally trust anyone else to come on against Argentina. I don't think Jesse Marsch did either. It's the reason we didn't see a Chouanier or a Piet come in. Osorio, if you guys were watching during the watch along, I said that I don't think that he will take Kone out unless it's like the 85th plus minute for Osorio for chasing the game, and that's exactly what we had. I don't think we could play an entire match with an Osorio Eustachio kind of double pivot, because that other position where Kone plays requires so much defensive awareness to it. Like, it's not really Kone's basically playing in a double pivot. That's what it is. He's been asked a lot to do a lot of the defensive work, and Osorio just couldn't do that. And then a natural replacement would be Piet, and those are the positions I wouldn't change. Like, when I'm looking at that starting 11, if you're looking at any changes, just purely rotation, not on form, just purely rotation for this tournament. I mean, you're not moving Crepeau, you're not moving Davies. I think you could do Kamal Miller in for Cornelius. I wouldn't move Bombito. You could do Larea in for Johnston. I mean, I wouldn't take out Buchanan. I wouldn't take out Kone, Eustachio. You could maybe do Schaff for Liam Miller. I wouldn't take out David, and then you could maybe do Russell Rowe for Laren. Or if you wanted a different shape, you could even throw an Osorio in for Laren and go to a 4-2-3-1. Thoughts on Kone moving to Marseille? I love it. De Zerbi is an excellent coach. Seeing what he did with a lot of the Brighton players makes me very excited. I think Kone, this is a nice step from the championship to Liga, the League of Talents. I think that he could, it's a very good league for him to grow as a player and under a manager that I trust with younger players. I know the Marseille fan base can be kind of hit or miss, but I think that, I don't know how they picked up De Zerbi. I just think it's such an incredible hire, and seeing what he's done with some midfielders over his career really is impressive, and I would love it. I'm a little worried about, him getting game time and how much he would get at Marseille, but I'd like to back him for this type of move. I mean, I think Liga would be a good league for him. I'd rather him play for a team that's a little further up the table, like a Marseille, and I want him under a manager that would trust him. And from the reporting I've seen, it looks like Kone is a priority for De Zerbi, so I really like it. I think it could be a perfect little match there. Crepeau will be a game changer with Peru's counters and slow Canadian defenders. Yeah, Crepeau was excellent. Absolutely excellent against Argentina. He was excellent against France. He's been a rock star, man. He really has. So I think he, anyone who doubted him and thought maybe, Dane Sinclair could be the keeper, I think Crepeau absolutely answered that. And there's not even a debate really anymore. Crepeau is the keeper for Canada. That's just the fact. As a Canadian of Peruvian descent, Canada should win. Peru are very awkward stage right now, and there's no real youth movement. That was a big argument going into this tournament when you looked at this group. Was Argentina clear favorites? The second spot could be up for grabs, and the Peru and Chile are two sides that are aging, not really in there, kind of walking out of what was their golden generation, and Canada's kind of walking into theirs. But it doesn't mean we can execute it. The major tournament we just played in at the World Cup was a disaster for Canada. And, like I said, I'm not overly confident that we're going to be able to make it through, but I do think that there's a chance, especially we can execute a game plan properly and our special players can shine. Looking at the roster on paper, it's not even close. Canada has by far the better roster than Chile and Peru. I agree. Doesn't mean much in tournaments, but I do agree. Peru have no speed or quality in transition. Also, if there's any game to change anything, this would be it. It's the easiest game we have compared to the other teams. I agree. I said this way before the tournament started, and it's not like a crazy thing to think. It's just, if you watch tournament footballs like this, tournament football throughout the summer, it could be Olympics, it could be World Cup, it could be Copa America. It doesn't matter. It's just any tournament that's set over a few weeks like this, or a month, depending how far you make it. And especially in the group stage, you're expected to make changes. You really are. I just realized that was there the whole time. My bad. That's my laptop. Producer T is going to hate that. But I expected changes. And when I look at the three matches we had, best 11 against Argentina, you go out, you try to make a statement, you get your team comfortable playing in what was probably some of the biggest matches for those players. Then you look at Peru. It's the second match. Makes the most sense to make some changes. And then you get on some of like the 3-4 players I mentioned, probably only 3. And then you go back to your best 11 for Chile. That's what I would expect, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. If we did a combined starting 11 of Peru and Chile, what would it look like? I think it would be mostly Canadian players. I don't know. It's tough. Like, I don't think their strikers are better. Just looking at the team right now, I don't know. You could probably put an argument for 3-4 players maybe get in, but I think Canada would win. Sorry, JJD, I'm talking with other viewers. No, it's all good. It's all good, man. And don't mind the drilling that's going on behind me. Hopefully, you guys can't hear that too much, but there's a little bit of work going on in the house right now, and I'm assuming that you guys can hear it. So that's my bad. Although that is loud. That is loud. We got a plug coming in. I would like to see Ali come on. I wouldn't mind that either. Why not sit Laren and play Bear up top and put Laren in as a super sub? Like I said, I just think that Jesse trusts these 11 players right now. And from what I heard, I can only go off of what I'm telling, like from what I've heard, guys, because I agree. I think there should be rotation. I think there should be a couple, not big changes, but a couple, just simply for fitness purposes. And I could also question that, just maybe shake things up top. But I think a big part of it, in my eyes, is that Jesse Marsch has not had a long time with this national team. And I think it makes total sense for the time he did have. He needs to get to know the players that he's going to rely on the most throughout this tournament. He quickly established how he wants to play, the formation, and which players fit those positions. He's trusted these 11 players, and I think he just doesn't want to change. That's it. I would be surprised, and like I said, I honestly, if he does make changes, I bet you it's one player. Could be Johnston, could be Buchanan, maybe as a shock. Could be Miller, could be Laren. I don't know. But I think that he sticks with the same starting 11 that he did against Argentina. A little debate going on in the chat around Jesse Marsch. All things being equal in this game, I would put Larea at left back and put Davies on the wing. I've seen that pitched out a few times. I don't know. Let me know when the lineup comes out, guys, as well. I will bring it up and we can talk about it a little bit before I get off of the stream. If you guys are just joining us on stream, drop a like, give me your guys' score prediction, and let me know where you're tuning in from today. And you keep an eye on the Euro matches going on right now. Are you tuning in from Canada, from Peru, States? Let me know. England's 0-0 still. Always fun. Second minute after Zorio came on, we conceded. The lineup should be out soon. I know. I'll bring it up as soon as it's out. Just let me know. Interesting that once Kone was subbed, Argentina broke right through the middle. Yeah, but it came on in the 85th minute. We needed to go for a goal. Kone wasn't having a great match. We brought on someone with a little bit more creativity in Osorio. I had no problems with it. Things were absolutely going to open up making that substitution. It's why you can't really. In this system, you can't really play without any other midfielders besides Eustachio and Kone, at least not to the level that Jesse Marsch wants. If Canada scores 2 goals, Peru would open up, and it would be an even bigger scoreline, maybe 5-0 Canada. I don't think I'm that confident. I don't think I'm that confident. I think it'll take a bit for Canada to break down this team, if they're able to at all. What are your thoughts on Canada's lineup? Should it change or stay? Like I said, I think it's going to be the exact same starting 11. I'll put it back on the screen for you guys. This is the projected starting 11s. It's not the actual starting 11s, just so you guys are aware. But it's the starting 11. I'd be very surprised if it was anything different. I think it'll be exactly that. I don't think it should be, just given that it's a tournament that has games coming so quickly, and with this heat, rest and rotation is important. But maybe that just means that subs come on earlier. Maybe this is the starting 11 until like the 60th, and we see like 3 changes. I don't really know, but if the players I'm looking at realistically that I think only that have a shot to start, Honestly, really, it's Richie Larea. That's like the one player I look at where I'm like, he could come on in a few different positions. He could come on for Johnston. He could come on for Buchanan. He could come on for Miller, and then push Davies up. It's hard to know. If Schaffelberg were get to move to Europe, where would you like to see him go? Joshua Cloak put out an article with some Schaffelberg rumors. He said that Nashville was. Don't want to see him go. He's he's a fan favorite, and he's done incredible for them. But some of the leagues that he mentioned, I thought were great. He mentioned Liga MX, which I don't really want to see him go to Mexico. But then he mentioned Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany. Take your pick between Belgium and the Netherlands. I think there's a few different teams and that could really suit his game, and I think that it would be a step up. I would really like to see him make a step to a top team in one of those two countries. Anyone watch Austria beat the Netherlands? Marshes, I did. It was a masterclass. Austria topping that group was insane. Schaffelberg going to Italy. In a top 5 league, I think he's rumored apparently a couple of teams from the Bundesliga, but I think that's where he would thrive. In that style of football, being able to kind of attack, do what he does. I think he'd have fun in that league. But other than that, I think the Netherlands and Belgium could be 2 other options as well. Assuming the same starting 11, who are your first 3 subs at halftime? Expecting a halftime swap. I like that. I like that question. Again, I just feel like they're obvious. I at least for me, like Richie Larea is an obvious one. Take your pick. I think Schaffelberg's an obvious one now. So it could be Johnston Buchanan coming off. It could be Johnston Miller coming off for those 2. And then, I keep mentioning Jason Russell-Rowe, but I like Theo Bair a lot as well. I'd really like to see them get a look. So take your pick between Russell-Rowe or, and like I said, you could throw Osorio in there as well. You can even throw like a Chouanier in there if you want to switch up the shape a little bit to take off Laren. But those are kind of the 3 players I'd be looking at. Subs, Schaffelberg, Richie, Miller. Come on, Miller could be an option as well for Cornelius. Don't sweat the noise, JJD. I appreciate that, guys. Hopefully it wasn't too long or too loud. Proving here, good luck. Cheers, my friend. Good luck as well. It should be a good match. Both of us need... Well, we need a point. We need a point or a win more because we're in a bad position. I guess Peru is as well because, even if you guys... Well, if you beat us, you're laughing. You're in a great position. If we draw again, you would need probably something out of that Argentina match, which is a tough ask. I would start Larea at left back, moving Davies to the wing. Osorio in for Laren, with David as a sole striker, Osorio as a 10. Could be an option. Again, I think that's more of an option as mid-game substitution comes in. Best reason to start different players this match is to project players on yellow. Need our best 11 for Chile. It's important as well. It is, and I don't know how much Jesse Marsh took that into consideration. I would hope it takes 2 yellow cards and all of a sudden you're in a pit of trouble. So we'll have to see. That's a really good point, but it's a really good point, I think, especially for Derek Cornelius, because Cornelius has a solid replacement in Kamal Miller, who I would trust to come in and being able to play a 90 minutes. So that's the one player you could look at, because Kone is the other player on a yellow, and I don't see a way we start Piet Chouanier or Osorio in this system. I just don't. You could maybe drop Laren and then Kone as well and throw in like Osorio or Chouanier and Piet. Like, you need a little bit more coverage there. And I don't see it. I think Kone has to play. It's a risk, but I think he has to play. And I think if you were looking at the yellow card situation, Derek Cornelius is the obvious one to replace with Kamal Miller. I think we play Chouanier today because we need Kone and Stack for later in the tournament. Would you guys, let me know in the comment, guys. Let me know right now. Would you sit Kone because he's on a yellow? It's important. They reset, I believe, after the group stage. So, if he makes it out, I think he's laughing. But if he picks up a yellow card in the Chile match, for example, he's going to be suspended for the quarterfinals, but they reset after the group stage. I just don't see it. I don't I don't see a way that Jesse goes and plays even this game. I think he risks it and goes with Kone the entire time, which is maybe just asking for trouble. But he's going to be he's going to have a little bit more freedom without playing a side like Argentina. But I think Derek Cornelius could be in for a substitution for that reason. Lineup will stay the same, but Buchanan will be on a short leash. He looked frustrated, totally out of sorts against Argentina. Didn't help because Schaap came on and was immediately effective. Yeah, Schaffelberg, I think, raised a lot of questions for Liam Miller and Tajon Buchanan. The one thing about Buchanan is I know he was frustrated, but we had 3 very difficult opponents we played, and most of what we did came through the left-hand side where Davies is. So he was on he was frustrated. He wanted to do more. He's an attacking style of player. And we should have a lot of success, which is funny though, because once Schaffelberg came on the same side, because Schaff played on the right, he created a lot of problems. So yeah, I don't know, man. Theo Baer could match up well against Peru CBs. I agree with that. Mine would be Richie, Schaff, Ahmed. Ali Ahmed's a player I haven't touched on a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't think he's probably the player with the least amount of time under Jesse Marsch right now. So maybe that's why I don't know if he could crack a starting 11. But I mean, he's a player that I absolutely love to watch. I had the pleasure of interviewing him as well. He's a confident, talented kid. I look at him as a replacement to come on for a Buchanan. Although, if you're looking at that midfield and you're looking to sit a Kone, add another player, add like a Chouanier and an Ali Ahmed, and all of a sudden you got a 3-man midfield with Eustachio. Makes me a little less nervy than having like an Osorio, just a little bit more of an attacking player. Again, I don't know if I would trust Ali Ahmed in the midfield with just a Eustachio. I agree, Kone has to start, but possibly sub him out before he tires if we have the lead. Yeah. Late in the game, you could go for a Piet kind of style player. Or if you're looking to get a goal, you could go for an Osorio. If Canada loses, I will be extremely disappointed. If Canada wins, I will be completely ecstatic. I'll be watching the game, though, through my fingers today. Yeah. I just really want to see match number 3 matter. I just think we were good enough. I think we're good enough to pick up 3 points. And we need to. If we want to push, I don't think this tournament has set us up for a potential run. It really has. Doesn't mean that we're going to do it. Like I said, Peru and Chile could absolutely take us out and rout in the group stage. But it's not unrealistic to think that we could pick up 4 to 6 points these next 2 matches, move on to the quarterfinals. Then we're matched up against Group B, which is, I think they're all doable games where we can get a result. But we haven't really seen this Canada side under Jesse Marsch against a team that hasn't been a juggernaut. So I think we're going to learn a lot tonight. And maybe it's a disaster. We don't know. I can't confidently sit here and be like, we're going to win. I have liked a lot of what I've seen from this Canadian side under Jesse Marsch, and I think playing a side that's not one of the big dogs, I think will benefit us. I'm hoping that our strikers are just waiting to break out. Kone has to start, no questions. Kone's been a bit hot-tempered of late. Peru might draw him into another yellow. I'm a little worried about that. I don't know if you guys remember the clip of the game against Argentina where he was taken down and he just was pumping the ground. He plays with a lot of passion. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. This Peruvian side is going to push, and they're going to make it difficult. But if it's me, I have to go with him. Kone is not, even though he's on a yellow, he's not an option for me to switch. He has to play. Cornelius, I could see it. I think that would make total sense because he's on a yellow. But again, if you play him, for example, if you don't, I think this game matters way more because if you let Kamal play tonight, or actually, no, let me rephrase that. It would make more sense for Cornelius not to play tonight. And let me explain. Cornelius is sitting on a yellow. So if you play him today and he gets another yellow, well, he's suspended for Chile and you have a direct replacement in Kamal Miller. And I don't mind that like for like. But if you don't play him and you play Kamal Miller today, well, then, you probably go back to him against Chile. He picks up a yellow card. He misses the quarterfinal. So that, out of the 2 yellow card situations, it does make a lot more sense for Cornelius and even Kone as well. If Kone does pick up that other yellow, you got to use him for the entirety of the Peru match. And if you pick up the 3 points, you're in a pretty good position going against Chile. You won't have him for Chile though, which is devastating. But if you save him and he gets a yellow card against Chile, you won't have him in the quarterfinals. So it's tough to navigate. I don't know what to do. I would probably start Cornelius and Kone tonight. Hope Kone doesn't get a yellow. You roll the dice against Chile, and if Cornelius does get a yellow, again, you roll the dice. And even if Cornelius doesn't get a yellow today, then you could just go to Kamal Miller, and that way you for sure know you have Cornelius for the quarterfinals. But I don't know, man. It's a mind game. I don't know what the right or wrong answer is there. I hope that made sense to you guys, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think I start both of them though, because of that yellow card situation. Cannot go without Kone. Schaffelberger has to start. I heard he's good. I loved in the watch-along a lot of Argentina and just, I guess, fans from around the world that were tuning in. I don't know. Maybe they weren't that familiar with the Canadian players, but I got a lot of, who's number 14? Who's number 14? 14's good. No way 14's playing in MLS. He's got to be, where is he? When's he going to go to Europe? So he definitely did impress. People took notice, and it was an impressive performance, which you would think that if you're gonna reward that, it would be with a start, but I don't know. Starting 11's got to be coming out soon. Let me know. I want you guys to spam the chat if any of you guys see it pop out. I'm just looking on Twitter right now. I don't see it anywhere yet. They've been leaking a little bit earlier. No, I still don't see it. Not yet, not yet. There's no question that Buchanan starts when he's off. Even when he's off, he still causes major problems. It's true. Lineups are out. Buchanan's out for Lorea. What? When was that? Where are you looking? I just went on X. How did I miss it? I haven't seen anyone. Are you trolling me? I haven't seen it yet. Let me know if it is out. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I think Canada Soccer, maybe? I think you're toying with me. I don't see it yet. But once it's up, once the starting 11's up, we'll bring it out. Big news for Kone today. He will be motivated. Yeah, there's I don't know how close it is. The reports say that he's a priority signing for De Zerbi for Marseille. I love the move. I hope it happens. It'd be huge if Bombito goes to Lyon as well. Having a young Canadian in a top 5 league would be massive. I'd prioritize getting out of the group first. It's fair, but you gotta have these things in mind. Because if you get out of the group and you don't have Kone or Cornelius for your quarterfinal matchup, you're in trouble. But if you don't use them properly within the group, you won't have that quarterfinal matchup regardless. So I get what you're saying. I'll be watching more of Liga next year. Well, you did invite spamming, Josh. No, I want you guys to, once it's out, let me know. I will bring it right up once it's out, and we will take a look. But I think he was trolling with me a little bit. Buchanan's out for Lorea, and that's the only change. I mean, if that's right, I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy at all. The lineup is on one football. Do you think? Let's take a look. I just feel like someone would have leaked it, because that might have confirmed. Oh, I don't know, man. That'd be interesting, though. Buchanan. Confirmed it's the same. All right, I'll pull it up for you guys then. Huh. Confirmed on one football. Buchanan out, Larea in. All right. I'll pull it up. What do you guys think? It says confirmed. I don't know if this one changed at all. But that's the starting 11 then. Foot mob change? All right. I guess that's it. Huh. Buchanan out, Larea in. What do you guys think? Do you like that? I'm a little surprised, man. I don't know. Huh. Foot mode confirmed it as well. I can't open foot mode for some reason. I think you guys broke it. It's just not loading. Oh. It's not showing mine on. Still shows Buchanan in. Yeah, like it says confirmed. I don't know. I haven't looked at confirmed. I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait and see. What do you, yeah, I don't mind it. Schaffelberg punching the air right now. I feel like Schaffelberg would have made more sense. But again, you know, he's the super sub. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll wait here just in case it's put out somewhere else. Is it usually pretty, I mean, one football's as reliable as it can get, so I don't know. Good eye then, guys. Confirmed it's the same lineup. All right, well, I don't mind it. I'm just a little surprised. I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You guys like it? Let me know. Trying to do some digging right now, guys. Oh, they just posted on Twitter. Am I right? All right. Good eye, guys. You nailed it. Crepeau, Johnson, Bombito, Cornelius, Davies. Unless that... Yeah, because the Crepeau will be the keeper. Johnson right back, Bombito, Cornelius. It's saying Richie Laryea is playing left back, which would then mean Kone, Eustachio are the two midfielders, and I guess Miller's going to go to the right, maybe. Davies to the left. David and Laren up front. Interesting. But good eye, guys. Shout out to the chat for finding that. Interesting, man. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it. I think the idea would be... I mean, this starting 11 might be a little off because the way that Canada Soccer tweeted it out, and maybe I'll just pull that one up for you guys, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So when they tweeted it, I mean, they're doing it in order. So it looks like the keeper's Crepeau, and then right back would be Johnston, Bombito, Cornelius. And then I guess Richie's going to play left back. And then I don't know. I'm confused. Because, yeah. Then I guess it would be Kone, Eustachio. And then it's saying Miller's playing right mid, Davies left mid, Laren and David are the two strikers. So that's what it's... I mean, that's what they're saying. Interesting. I like that. I don't mind that. I'm guessing is they're pushing Davies up the pitch, and maybe that makes sense. Davies on the wing. Looks like it. So yeah, I did say I expected one change, and I said it'd be Richie Laryea coming in. I just had no idea who was coming out. I'm a little surprised that it's Tajon Buchanan. But like, I mean, we've all been saying he's had a tough few matches. I think that's big credit to Liam Miller, though. Big credit to Liam Miller. I liked his. I liked his game. I've been backing him the last little bit, and there's a bit of a split decision on that. But I really liked what he's been bringing to Jesse Marsh's style, and it looks like Jesse Marsh does as well. Because now it looks like, I mean, I like the chemistry between Davies and Miller, but now it looks like they're breaking them up. It does look from what Canada Soccer just posted here that Liam Miller will be on the right. Davies will then go up to the left. Richie goes in at left back. And over the years, watching down that left-hand side when Richie Laryea and Alphonso Davies have linked up, I like the look of that. So that could be something to keep an eye on. 'Twas not Cap. This moves Fonzie up to left wing, right? Yes. Yes, it does. It's basically Laryea comes in at left back, Davies goes up to left mid, and then Liam Miller goes over to right mid. Maybe we see Davies move over to right mid, but I don't think so. Like I said, there's been some games where Laryea has played left back, or during games he's been moved over to left back, so we've seen Laryea and Davies together, and I like that combination. I do think it's a combination that can work. Pushing Davies up makes sense. Makes sense for Davies going as a winger for more offense. Tajon and Schaff as late subs for tired legs could be fun. Yeah, Buchanan coming off the bench could definitely be interesting. If Peru is punching, I want Laryea on the pitch. Hey, man, that was the one thing I did hear is, from Peru's coach's comments about, we're ready to fight. It's like you want one player on the pitch that can really bring that. It's Richie Laryea. That's funny. I like that. I wonder if that had anything to do with it, but I love Buchanan, but I like this lineup. Canada Soccer posting is literally listed as a 4-2-2. Yep, that's what I was saying. It's like if you read it down, That's what tells me that Liam Miller is playing right mid. It goes keeper, right back, center back, left back, center mid, right mid, left mid, striker. So we're just going off of what they're touching, which means that Liam Miller is getting pushed to the right mid. And I think that's a big decision from Jesse Marsch, showing a lot of trust in Liam Miller. And I'm hoping he can prove him right. Would this be the same lineup for the Chile match? I doubt it. I'm assuming Tajon Buchanan would come back in. Again, the two players that are on yellow cards could be an issue as well. If Cornelius picks up another yellow, he misses the Chile match, in comes Kamal Miller. If Kone picks up another yellow, I mean, he misses the match, and I don't know what Jesse would do. I'm thinking maybe a Chouanier. Maybe he then throws in another midfielder and brings off like David, or well, not probably not David, probably Laren, and brings in another midfielder. I don't know. Not surprised at all. Buchanan gets too stressed in the box and kicks without looking for the final finish in the pass. He had a couple tough matches. I still back Buchanan in a match like this, so I'm hoping coming off the bench, kind of the way Schaff has been doing, he can just come on with something to prove and can hopefully create against some tired Peruvian legs. That's kind of what I'm hoping for here. My guess is that you will see Davies and Liam switch sides a lot. Yeah. I mean, at certain matches, you see that with Buchanan and Davies as well. Have no problem switching sides. What do you think, Alistair Johnston on the right? Is it me that's liking him too much, but I don't hear? Yeah, he's definitely, yeah, Johnston will be playing right back for sure. And Larea will go in at left back. Larea is one to push away from red card. Buchanan is a great super sub. Him and Shafts would, man, that's a lot of pace and a lot of excitement to bring off the bench. I do like that a lot. Probably come on for Richie Larea. Push Davies maybe back a little bit. Tajon could enter as a super sub. He could. Yeah, you guys are all piecing it together. I don't have an issue with Buchanan coming on against tired legs. I absolutely don't. We can do this. Let's go, Canada. If you guys are just tuned in, drop a like on the stream. Let me know what you guys think about the starting 11. I did say earlier, because we were talking about potential subs. I mentioned a few players, Larea, probably like Russell Rowe or Bear, and Schaff. And I said more than likely we'll only see one, and I thought it'd be Richie. I just didn't know who he'd come on for. So Buchanan's a bit of a surprise to me. But I don't hate it. And after the last couple games that Buchanan's had, maybe he just needs this little, I don't know, just little kind of mental shakeup for him to realize, he needs to step his game up a little bit. And I think like you guys have all been spamming in the chat, coming on against tired legs could be a big opportunity for Buchanan. And you've seen what Schaffelberg's been able to do from it. Buchanan and super sub Schaffelberg off the bench is a good mix up. You guys are all loving it. Jesse is definitely the type of guy to put Larea in for. Yeah, I mean, after the coach's comments, I don't think it's crazy. Schaff will come on for Miller late in the match. Davies and Richie is a fire combo. It is like through World Cup qualifying, they had a lot of really good moments together. They really did. Match predictions. I said 1-0. Let me know your guys' match predictions. My wild prediction is that Canada gets a penalty shot in this game. I want to see, if there's a penalty, I want to see Davies pick it up and hand it to David, and then David just goes smash in the back of the net. I got 3-1 prediction for Canada, 2-0 prediction for Canada. I feel like Peru will get a narrow win or Canada will destroy them. So you're back and forth on this. Buchanan doesn't get enough playing time in Italy, so we manage him differently. It could be, guys. It's going to be very exciting. We're going to be doing a watch along over on One Soccer, so come join Alex and myself over there. Hopefully you guys are excited. On your way out from the stream, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub. If you guys are new to the channel, we'll have a 5 takeaways coming out after the game. We got a match preview for the Chile match coming up. I got an episode coming out on Jonathan David. I got a Chelsea guest coming on to discuss that, so keep an eye on that, and we'll be doing streams throughout Copa America as well. So I'm hoping that we can pick up a big win tonight against Peru in Chile, and hopefully move on to the quarterfinals. And we'll have a lot more content coming out, but a lot to look forward to. So keep an eye on the channel. And before we get out of here, we're going to drop our sponsor. So big shout out to BetStamp for sponsoring the channel. If you guys are looking to place any bets, you can take a look at BetStamp, which is known as the Trivago of the sports betting world. So shout out to our channel sponsors before we get going. Exciting news for the channel. I'm thrilled to announce that JJD TV is partnering up with BetStamp and SignUpExpert. This opens up an incredible opportunity for you to join up with some of my favorite sports books to get the best odds and user offers throughout Copa America. Head over to my dedicated page at signupexpert.com/JJDTV to explore a selection of sports books tailored to your region, each with unique offerings. If you're ready to take your sports betting to the next level throughout this tournament and want to show some love for the channel, I highly recommend you signing up for your next sports book through my SignUpExpert link. You can easily find it in the description of this video. All right, and that's all for today's stream, guys. I really appreciate you all tuning in. And like I said, keep an eye on the channel. I'm trying to bring on as many good guests as I can. We had the preview. If there's a little preview right now, if you guys want to watch it, it's out with Joshua Cloak, touching on the match. 5 takeaways will come out right after the game. I love the raw reactions. You guys seem to really like them as well. And yeah, join us over at One Soccer for the watch along. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Drop a like, drop a sub on your way out, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers, friends.